Importing your photos into iPhoto is rather straightforward. You should be able to figure this out without too much trouble. The thing that you want to do once you get your photos into iPhoto is you want to organize them by assignment. I'm going to show you how to get around, organize, add titles and captions. First, let's look at the library, which is up here. The library can be looked at either by events, which is what we're looking at now, and these show different days and times when you took photographs, and they're organized by date, events. You can rename these. For instance, if I want to come down here and say silver fishing, I can rename my event and keep track of them that way. And that's very helpful. If you just want to look at all of your photos at once, you can go to Photos and they will show up by date, but all of them will show up in a preview. And you can adjust the view by zooming in or zooming out, how many thumbnails you want to see at a time. To see an actual picture, you would double click on it and that picture would come up in the viewer. To get the information on the photo, you click on this button right here called Info. And we get all sorts of information about the picture, including the camera that took the picture, the lens, the f-stop, which we'll talk about later, the dimensions of the picture, the size of the file, the ISO, the focal length, the exposure, and again the aperture and the shutter speed. This will be really helpful once we get into special effects. For now, we want to concentrate on the title, and I'm going to give this a title that makes a little bit more sense to me. I'm going to call it Blueberries, and then I'll add a description. Fall, sometimes you have to click twice. Fall colors on the leaves of the blueberries are pretty. Okay, so just a little bit more interpretation of that photo. Now we have a title, date, time, and a description. Now I want to organize these photos, and the way I do that is in the albums over here. I'm going to create an album for our first photo shoot. We have to go back to Photos. File, New Album, and it automatically puts a picture that you've highlighted into that new album. And I'm going to call this Fall Plants. You have a different assignment this week, so what you're going to do is create an album that has the name of your assignment. And then once you are in your events and you're looking at all of your pictures, you are going to find pictures that you want to put in your final assignment and upload for grading. So again, you would go back to events, the pictures you just took, and I don't have a really good example here. Maybe I have one up here. Let's just take the sky one as an example. I go into an event, I have the sky, which I've added a title and a description to, and I'm going to just show you how you pull that over into your folder or your album. You just drag it over there, drop it, and now I have two pictures in my album. What this does is I can now sort my pictures into the 5 pictures I want to submit for my assignment, and we'll be uploading these to Flickr through the share button for Flickr. You can also email these photos. You can add them to Facebook. Lots of different ways that you can share the photos, and we'll get to Flickr in a future lesson. So remember, sort your pictures into an album that you want to submit for the assignment, and we'll do an album for each weekly assignment. You can find your pictures in events, and it's drag and drop, and don't forget to add a title and a description or the caption for each one of your photos. If you add them here in iPhoto, it makes it really easy to have them follow when you share them in your captions and in Flickr. Stay tuned.